Yo, what is up, guys? I'm your boy Nick with the Pick My Myth. Here we're going to be going over the full card breakdown for UFC 299. We have in the main event, we have Sean O'Malley taking on Chito Vera. This is a rematch, by the way. O'Malley's trying to defend his belt for the first time against the only guy that's ever beat him in the past. Chito Vera was able to get him down to the ground and knock him out with the ground and pound with some nasty elbows. And that was a weird fight, though, because Chito Vera kicked his calf in the right place. And O'Malley ankle was injured, so he had an injury in that fight, so it is what it is. So they're trying to run it back here. In the co-main event, we have Benoit Saint-Denis taking on Dustin the Diamond Poirier. Should be a really good matchup there. That's also a 5-round matchup. And this main card is absolutely stacked from top to the bottom. So we got Gilbert Burns taking on JDM. We got Peter Yan taking on Song Gidong. We got Kevin Holland taking on Michael Wenham Page. Michael Wenham Page is making a UFC debut here. And in the prelim headliner, we have Pedro Munhoz Jr. taking on Kyler Phillips. So this should be a decent matchup there too. We have Vergara taking on Almabaev. Curtis Blaydes taking Jailton Almeida. Mateusz Gamrot taking RDA. We have a lot of decent matchups on this card, and I cannot wait for it, man. Let's get into it. So first fight on the card is going to be Felipe Lins taking on Ian the Hulk Cutelaba. And I'm gonna go with the Cutelaba here. I think he's got more punching power on the feet. His cardio is obviously an issue. His fight IQ is an issue. He makes a lot of mistakes out there. Not a guy that I'm looking to be betting on this fight. He's got the wrestling upside here. He's much younger, almost 9 years younger here. And they were supposed to fight a couple of months ago, or a couple of months ago, I think. They were supposed to fight a couple of months ago on a fight night card. And Felipe Lins had a food poisoning or something like that. He wasn't feeling good, so they didn't end up fighting. But I'm gonna go with the prospect out of Extreme Couture here. I think Cutelaba will be able to get this done. He's coming up for a knockout win over Tanner Boser, where he absolutely put it on Tanner Boser. I know some people are calling that an early stoppage, but he eventually did knock out Tanner Boser, and Tanner Boser knocked out Felipe Lins. So a little some MMA math for you there. So I'm gonna go with Cutelaba here. I think he's gonna be able to find a knockout. If he does not find a knockout early, I could see Felipe Lins just cage pushing him in the second, third round, and then eventually submitting. Like Cutelaba, when he's tired, you can submit this guy easy when he's tired. So Felipe Lins can definitely win this fight. I'm not ruling him out here. I'm not betting this fight. There's so many better spots on this fight than betting on this fight. I mean, there's so many better betting spots on this card than betting on this fight. But I'm gonna go with the Cutelaba by knockout first round. And the betting odds are not out yet, so I don't know what the betting lines are gonna be for this fight. But the last time they were supposed to fight, Cutelaba was -140, -130, and Lins was +110, +120. So I'm expecting the lines to be close again here. Alright, guys. Next up, we got Joanne Wood taking on Maryna Moroz. And I'm gonna go with Maryna Moroz here. This is a rematch, by the way. Joanne Wood already fought Maryna Moroz back in 2015, and Moroz got a takedown and submitted her in the first round. And Joanne Wood, she's got some grappling holds in her game. She's a very good kickboxer, throws a ton of volume out there. She can keep a pace. Her cardio are really good. But she's 30 years old now. She's coming back after a year off almost. She got a win over Luana Carolina, which was very, very close. They're just going tick for tack on the feet, throwing kickboxing with each other on the feet. And Joanne Wood just got the better of Luana Carolina. She had more power. So Joanne Wood does have some pop on her shots. I don't think it's going to be enough to knock down Maryna Moroz, though. Maryna Moroz took on a tough girl into Queen Silva. Even though Moroz beat Queen Silva back in the day, but they ran it back on that 6 months ago. I mean, that was I can't believe that was already 6 months ago. That just feels like a month ago or 2 months ago. But time flies, I guess. But yeah, so Moroz got dropped in the fight against Queen Silva. She got knocked down, and then she worked her way back up to her feet pretty quickly. She wasn't all that rocked, and then Queen Silva timed a beautiful takedown on her, and then was controlling her on the ground. Then Moroz got a reversal at one point, and then she stuck her head in a guillotine choke. Queen Silva got that guillotine choke with like a second to go, and had Maryna Moroz tap out with like a second to go on the clock in the first round. Absolutely crazy. I think Moroz should be able to get this done. I'm gonna say Moroz gets it done by like likely submission again. I could see her getting a second on submission, but not a fight I'll be betting on. The odds are pretty close for this fight. With Joanne Wood coming in at plus 140 and Maryna Moroz coming in at minus 166. The odds are pretty close for this fight. I mean, and Maryna Moroz opened up at minus 162. The odds are just staying around minus 160 for Moroz. And I think the odds are pretty spot on here. I like Moroz to get it done by a second on submission. Not a fight I'll be betting on though. There's so many better betting spots on this card than betting on these girls, the low-level girls. I got Moroz by a second on submission. Alright guys, next up we have Robelis of Spain taking on Parisian. This is going to be an execution, I mean. Robelis of Spain is going to absolutely murder Parisian. Literally, like, he's going to execute him in the first round with a knockout. This dude's, I mean, he's knocked out a couple of people in like 5 seconds. I mean, I bet on his last fight. I got him at plus 105 and minus 120. I had I can't remember how many. I think it was like two and a half units that I had on Robelis of Spain there. And yeah, it was 2 units that I bet on against Miles Banks. And a lot of people are calling him out there. I mean, a lot of people were on the Miles Banks guy. And he absolutely put him down with a beautiful left hook. I think it was a left hook, right hook on the chin. And just this dude's an absolute machine. Like, this dude's is an executioner. He's gonna execute Parisian. That's all you guys really need to know about this fight. So, Parisian, poor Parisian. I feel bad for him. But yeah, he got submitted by Martin Berde. He was getting rocked on the feet by Martin Berde too, who doesn't really have a ton of power on the feet. And this is a tough fight for him, man. I can't believe he took this fight. I can't believe he took this matchup. Maybe he's expecting the UFC to give him another chance after this fight. But yeah, even though Despaigne is 35 years old, but he's gonna get this done by knockout, first round knockout in the first 30 seconds. I think he's minus 445. He opened up at minus 230. I think he's still a solid parlay piece. I think you can still throw Robelis of Spain in a parlay. But we don't know how his cardio is. We never really seen him go past the first round. The longest that he's ever gone was like 4 minutes. In his first fight with Kutuma Malumba. Even then he knocked him out with the uppercut. So I like the Spain here to get it done by first round knockout in the first 30 seconds, I think. Alright guys, next up we got Michel Pereira taking on Michał Oleksiejczuk. I'm going to go with Michel Pereira here. I think he's the more technical striker here. And he moved up to middleweight from welterweight, by the way. He was fighting at welterweight. He was missing weight. He missed weight against Wonderboy, and Wonderboy did not take that fight because he missed weight. That would have been a decent matchup there for Pereira to get into the rankings. Then he decided to move up to 185, and he had a crazy performance in his debut at 185. Knocked out Andre Petroski he landed a nasty body kick. And landed a nice right hand right on the chin of Andre Petroski, put him down and knocked him out with the ground and pound. And this dude has a ton of power, very explosive, very good feints out there, throws really good feints, stays very light on his feet, by the way. I think Pereira's going to get this done. Michel Pereira is going to get this done. And Michał Oleksiejczuk is very tough, man. This dude is a junkyard dog. Like, he's not going to stop. He might be... This dude almost gets hurt every single fight. He almost looks like he's gonna get knocked out, then he just comes back and wins the fight. Like, this dude, crazy toughness, crazy cardio, and to beat this guy, you gotta just stay at range and just pick and poke at him. Like, that's the way you beat him. That's the way Justin Jacoby beat him, by outstriking him throughout 3 rounds. And then Kaya Braulio was getting pieced up in the first round by Oleksiejczuk. Then Berhalio got the takedown in the second round, submitted him. I cast a second submission on Berhalio there. And that was a really good card for me. 9th month. That was like already 9 months ago. That's crazy. Yeah, I had a decent card in that one. That was like one of the best cards of the last year for me on that Caio Berhalio fight card. I think that's the same card where we saw Cody Burns fight Adolfo Vera, if I'm not wrong. And they both got a second on submission in that one. I called both of the second on submission in that one. That was crazy. But yeah, Pereira's going to get this done. I think Michel Pereira's going to get a... I don't know if he's going to knock him out because Oleksiejczuk is very tough and durable. This dude's only been knocked out 1 time in the first round. And that was by... who knocked him out? I can't remember who knocked him out. It was by back in 2014 by Marcin, KSW fighter. So I'm gonna say knockout. I'm gonna say second on knockout for Michel Pereira. I think he's gonna be able to put him down, then get a ground and pound off in the second round. So I'm gonna go with second on knockout for Michel Pereira here. I think he can get a knockout here. Alright guys, next up we got what are the odds for this fight? Let's see. So Michel Pereira is minus 155. He opened up at minus 162. I like the line of Michel Pereira, man. I'm gonna see where the line goes. It's trending the other way. If it goes down to like minus 130, I'll definitely straight money line bet him at minus 130. Cause Michał Oleksiejczuk is super dangerous, man. This dude has knockout power in both of his hands. He's a puncher. He's a boxer. Doesn't really throw a lot of kicks out there. He's got decent takedowns too, but I don't see him taking on Michel Pereira. If anyone's gonna grapple in this fight, I could see Michel Pereira mixing in the takedowns in this fight and just controlling him on the ground. And also maybe attacking submission too. Michel Pereira has really long arms. He can definitely attack submissions. Because Oleksiejczuk is a fish out of water on the ground. So I'm gonna go with the Michel Pereira by second on knockout or submission too. He can definitely get a submission too, man. I think he's got a couple of submissions. He's got 6 submission wins. One at the UFC level. Who did he submit? He submitted Almabaev with a rear naked choke. And we have seen Michel Oleksiejczuk get submitted before. He's been submitted 4 times. I'm gonna go submission. I'm gonna go Michel Pereira by submission. I think he can get a submission here. But when you knock people out, man, it's you don't usually when these guys start knocking people out, they don't normally go back to submissions. But I think it's gonna be tough to to knock out a guy like Oleksiejczuk. I think he's gonna have to lock in a submission. I could see him dropping Oleksiejczuk and jumping on his back with the submissions. I'm gonna go second on submission from Michel Pereira. And I like the money line play on him. 155 is honestly not that bad. I know people were trying to fade him his last fight. People were trying to fade him with the Andre Petroski. A lot of people are picking Andre Petroski there. And yeah, I can't believe it was only minus 185 there against Andre Petroski. And he knocked him out with in under a minute. Alright guys, next up we got Mateusz Gamrot taking on Rafael dos Anjos. And I'm going to go Mateusz Gamrot here. I think Mateusz Gamrot is going to get this done. I don't think he's finishing Ardia though. Ardia is very tough or durable. I was on the right side there. Ardia's last fight I picked Vicente Luque there, and I had a bet on Vicente Luque. Vicente Luque was an underdog in that one, which is crazy to me. Because a lot of people were talking about how Vicente Luque was having those brain bleeds and all that shit. Didn't really matter because I knew Ardia isn't all that dangerous on the feet. And I knew that Vicente Luque might be able to mix in the grappling, and he did go to the wrestling. He did mix in the grappling there, take him down like 6 or 7 times. Just held him up against the cage there the whole time. And Ardia just didn't really have an answer when you take him down. When you push the grappling on him, doesn't really know what to do. I think Gamrot's just going to keep a pace on him that Ardia's not going to be able to keep up with. And Mateusz Gamrot's striking is improving, man. He's looked really good out there against Fiziev. I mean, even though that was a leg injury on Fiziev's part, I had a money in playing Fiziev there. So that was a disappointing fight for me there. But his kickboxing was looking pretty decent out there. He was landing some good body kicks, good punches on the feet too. And he was catching Fiziev coming in too at some point, so at a couple of points as well. I think he's been working on that part of his game ever since losing to Beneil Dariush. He got dropped by Beneil Dariush in the second round with the left hook. But his recovery is crazy though. This dude pops back up to his feet right away, even when he gets knocked down. Even then, he was trying to take down Beneil Dariush. He took down Beneil Dariush a couple of times, but couldn't really hold him down. That's the thing about Mateusz Gamrot. Doesn't really have the best control out there. But he's gonna he's gonna stick to a game plan, and I think he's working on that striking now. He knows he needs to work on that striking to make it if he wants to be a champion at 155. Gamrot's gonna win this fight 30-27, I think. And Gamrot right now minus 275, minus 250. I actually like Gamrot here a ton, man. I have him in a parlay already. I like Gamrot here a ton. I think Gamrot's one of the best parlay pieces on this card. And RDA plus 225. Yeah, I don't think RDA is winning this fight. I'm pretty confident Gamrot to win this fight. 30-27 or I think it's going to be 30-27 clear win for Gamrot. Alright guys, next up we have Curtis Blaydes taking on Jailton and Almeida. I'm not going to spend too much time in this fight. Both these guys are grapplers. Curtis Blaydes probably has better striking on the feet, more punching power. But I can't trust his durability. And his takedown defense is pretty solid, so I know why people are picking. Most people are betting Curtis Blaydes here. But I think Jailton Almeida is gonna get this on. I like the momentum from Jailton Almeida. He out grappled Derek Lewis, man. I know he couldn't really finish him. That was very disappointing. I lost a ton of money on that one. I had the under 2.5 rounds on that one and a couple of parlays. Killed a couple more parlays, but I think he's gonna win this fight. I don't think he's finishing Curtis Blaydes though. Maybe with ground and pound he could finish him on the ground. But I think Almeida's by decision. I think he's gonna outwork Curtis Blaydes on the feet. Not on the feet, I mean on the ground. I think he's gonna get enough takedowns, enough control time on the ground, even if he doesn't submit Curtis Blaydes. But he's probably gonna want to finish here. I know people were very disappointed his last fight because he couldn't go out there finish Derek Lewis. But yeah, Curtis Blaydes has been knocked out a couple of times on the feet. He got knocked out by Derek Lewis with an uppercut. He just kind of walked into the uppercut, shot a takedown from like a mile away, walked into the uppercut from Derek Lewis. Then he was looking decent in that fight against Derek Lewis, though his striking was looking decent. But he eventually just walked into the uppercut in the second round. Then Sergey Pavlovich absolutely put it on him, knocked him down a couple of times, knocked him out. Yeah, he hasn't fought in like a year, so I like the momentum. I like that Almeida's been fighting consistently, and he hasn't taken the damage that Curtis Blaydes has taken. So I'm gonna go with Jailton Almeida by decision for now. Maybe I'll change the pick to knockout, maybe like ground and pound knockout or something, maybe a submission. Curtis Blaydes doesn't really get submitted a ton, though he's never been submitted. I'm gonna say decision for Jailton Almeida. And Jailton Almeida, the lines are pretty even here. I think the lines are like minus 110 on each side. I think Jailton Almeida is going to get this done. The betting lines have been crazy. I mean, Almeida opened up at minus 115, and the lines haven't gone anywhere. I don't know. You guys, I would just tell you guys to take a pass on this one. There's no need to bet every single fight out there. But I like Jailton Almeida by decision. Next up, we have Katlyn Chookagian taking on. Did she change her last name? I thought her name was Katlyn Chookagian. Now her name is Katlyn Cerminara. What? Did she get married or something? I don't know what's going on with Katlyn. I honestly thought her name was Katlyn Chookagian, but I guess her name is Katlyn Cerminara now. She's taking on Maycee Barber. I'm gonna pick Maycee Barber here by decision. I don't think she's finishing Katlyn Cerminara. But the thing I'll say about Katlyn is she throws a crazy volume out there. She just throws crazy volume, and she's the type of girl that every time she throws a punch, she'll like make a sound with it. So like it just kind of confuses the judges sometimes. That's the way she beat Amanda Hibas. She just throws crazy volume out there. Like her volume is crazy. Like she just doesn't stop throwing the whole time. I think Maycee Barber is gonna have the punching power on the feet here. She's 10 years younger also, which I like. Not a fight I'll be betting on. I haven't placed any bets on this fight as of right now. But I think Maycee Barber is gonna get this done. Likely by decision. I think it'll be a decision 29-28, because I think Katlyn can at least win 1 out of 3 rounds. She will probably keep this fight close. But I'm gonna say Maycee Barber gets it done by decision. I think Maycee Barber is on the up and up right now, and she's very hungry right now. But this is a big step up for competition for Maycee Barber here. This is not Amanda Hibas, and this is not Andrea Lee. This is not Jessica Ai or like Miranda Maverick, and like she's got a couple of split decision wins, which could go either way. I mean, that fight with Andrea Lee could have gone either way. That fight with Miranda Maverick could have gone either way too. Like, I don't think Katlyn's gonna mix in the grappling here. Maycee Barber has horrible takedown defense. I don't think Katlyn's gonna mix in the grappling here though, so it's gonna be a stand-up fight. I like Maycee Barber's punching power. I think she's gonna hit a little bit harder, do more damage on the feet. I'm gonna go Maycee Barber by decision, and let's see the odds for this fight. So the odds for this fight right now, Maycee Barber is minus 195, minus 175 on some books. Not a fight I'm running to the window to go bet on. I don't really like this fight for betting wise, but I think Maycee Barber will be up to get it done by decision. Don't parlay Maycee Barber though, because Katlyn just has a habit of pulling out these upsets somehow. Even that fight with Maycee, Men and Fear, I had a bet on Men and Fear in that one, and I was nervous at the end because he just like the striking numbers were dead even. So and the non Fear was just landing with more impact, so that's what it came down to. But yeah, and Manon Fear mixed in the takedown too, so you got a takedown at the end third round, so that kind of helped Manon Fear take that decision there. But that was a very very close fight, and if the odds were close here, if it was Maycee Barber was like minus 120, minus 130 here, I'd probably better at minus anything under minus 150, but 2-1 is kind of crazy for Maycee Barber, and she was at like plus 200 underdog against Amanda Hebus in that one, so her stock is over the roof right now, and for a good reason. She knocked out Amanda Hebus, and that was an absolute war. Like she showed a lot of toughness in that fight too, because Amanda Hebus was piecing her up early on, but Maycee Barber just caught her with a punch and then absolutely put it on her. Didn't let Amanda Hebus off the hook. Maycee Barber by decision here, 29-28. Not a fight I'll be betting on though. Maybe the over 2.5 rounds. I actually like the over 2.5 rounds here. I think Chukagian's very tough. Caitlin Cerminara. I keep calling her Chukagian. Alright guys, next up we have Cesar Vergara taking out Asu Almabaev. And I'm going to go with Asu Almabaev here. I think he's a second leg to my parlay with that Mateusz Gamrot. I think this dude is legit. I know we had the other Kazakhstani fighter, Ajad Maxum, who dropped the ball against Charles Johnson. Cesar Vergara is very tough though. This dude is an absolute junkyard dog, but he's gonna get submitted here in the first round. I think Almabaev is gonna submit him early. Almabaev's striking is legit too. He throws really good body kicks, decent striking. Not really known for his striking though. He's known for the grappling. His wrestling is legit, and he's gonna submit Cesar Vergara here. I think he's gonna submit him in the first 2 rounds. Yeah, he took on Cody Osborne. I had him by second of submission there, and he found the second of submission there for me. So he cast a submission prop there for us, and I'm happy with him. I'm happy, but that was a UFC debut, and we saw Cesar Vergara lose to Ode Osborne. So you can't be losing to Ode Osborne out there, and he's getting. I mean, when it's just was it? No, I think it's Daniel Lacerda that almost had a Cesar Vergara running out of the octagon. It was funny. That shit was fucking funny. He almost ran out of the octagon because Daniel Lacerda had rocked and like almost knocked out at one point, but he just toughed through that first round and then put it on Daniel Lacerda. We know Daniel Lacerda only has cardio for the first like 2 minutes. If you survive the first like 2 to 3 minutes, you can definitely beat Lacerda. Lacerda's fighting this weekend on that Mexico card. Yeah, I think Almabaev is gonna finish him by second of submission. I don't need to spend too much time on this fight. Almabaev is coming in at minus 375. Now, some might say this line is a little bit wide. I think it's justifiable. I think he's got the big grappling edge in this fight. His cardio is legit. We don't have to worry about him gassing out here. And Cesar Vergara's jiu-jitsu isn't all that good, so I think he's going to get submitted here. I'm going to say like first second of submission for Almabaev here. Alright guys, next up we have Pedro Munhoz taking on Kyler Phillips, the Matrix. Now this is a tough fight, man, because this is a big step up for Kyler Phillips here. But they're giving him a decent matchup here. Pedro Munhoz doesn't really shoot takedowns out there, and he's 37 years old for a bantamweight now. So yeah, I think it's Kyler Phillips' time now. He's gonna get this done by outstriking him throughout 3 rounds. He can definitely put up the numbers. Yeah, Kyler Phillips gonna win this fight. Just outstriking, landing more volume overall. He's very cerebral fight out there. Very has really good footwork out there. Stays light on his feet. Decent cardio too. Decent chin on him. He's very tough. Decent takedown defense too. I really like everything about Kyler Phillips. I bet him against Marcelo Rojo. I bet him against Ronnie Barcelos too, and he cast for us both times. So. And I didn't bet that fight against Rolene Paiva. Yeah, he's got a win over Yudong Song too, by the way. So he's fought some good guys, man. I think he's gonna get this done by decision. I know people aren't really sold on him yet. Only 57% people picking him here by decision. Over 2.5 rounds is what I really like here. I really like the over 2.5 rounds here. I'm probably gonna parlay the over 2.5. Probably gonna be like minus 220, minus 240, or the over 2.5 probably gonna be like minus 250. I'm hoping it opens up at like minus 120 or minus 130, but I doubt it. Kyler Phillips is minus 225. Now, Pedro can definitely win this fight, man. This dude is tough. This dude is tough, man. You're not really out there. No one's really gone out there finished to Pedro Munhoz. He's never been finished for a good reason. The only way you beat him by just outworking him throughout 3 rounds. And I see Kyler Phillips doing that to him. Over 2.5 rounds is what I'm gonna bet here. I like the over 2.5 rounds a ton here. Decent parlay piece over 2.5 rounds. Alright guys, let's move over to the main card now. Make sure you guys hit the like down below if you guys appreciate these early breakdowns on pay-per-view cards. Not many people are out there breaking down fights this early, spending time watching tape for 10 hours. Make sure you guys hit the like down below, man. It really helps out with the YouTube algorithm. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you guys are new here. Also like the video, leave a comment down below for the YouTube algorithm. I appreciate you guys. Now let's go over to the main card now, guys. We got Kevin Holland taking on Michael and Page. Now I faded Kevin Holland his last fight. I got a Jack Della Maddalena plus 105 plus money. I told you guys to go bet at Jack Della Maddalena. And we also cast over 2.5 rounds at plus 130. The over 2.5 was plus 130 in that fight. That was crazy because I didn't think JDM was going to go out there and finish him. I thought JDM was going to beat him by decision. And JDM beat him by decision there. So I have a pretty good idea who Kevin Holland is. Now I did pick Kevin Holland against Wonder Boy. And Wonder Boy, like, he just didn't want to take him down. Like, that's what I really don't like about Kevin Holland. Even when he has the grappling upside, he doesn't really shoot takedowns, brand. Like, he just doesn't want to be boring, I guess. He's more than willing to just go out there, strike, go tick for tack on the feed. So I'm gonna go with Michael Venom Page here. I can't really trust Kevin Holland. Even though this is a matchup that he should definitely win. He's got much better chin, much better durability. I think he's got more one punch power than Michael Venom Page. But Michael Venom Page has decent striking, very unorthodox. He's got the speed advantage, I think, in this fight. But he's coming over from Bellator. Hasn't really fought anyone. This is a big step up in competition for him. They're giving him a ranked opponent here, right into the top 12 ranked Kevin Holland. And Kevin Holland has fought everyone. I mean, he fought Khamzat Chimaev on short notice. Fought Wonder Boy. He fought Santiago Ponzinibbio, knocked Santiago in the 3rd round. And then submitted Michael Chiesa. Michael Chiesa loves getting submitted by Darshok. It's funny. That shit always cracks me up. Michael Chiesa's favorite submission way to get submitted is with the dart choke. Like Michael Chiesa loves getting submitted with the dart choke. I think he's the only fighter in the UFC history that's ever been submitted with the dart choke like 6 or 7 times, if I'm not wrong. And that fight was very close. The striking numbers were very close, but I didn't like the way that Kevin Holland was reacting to the shots from JDM. Now Michael Venom Page is no JDM. I'll say that much right now. But I think Michael Venom Page can outwork him throughout 3 rounds. I think he can get it done. Michael Venom Page is I think he's underdog in this one. Michael Venom Page is plus 114 underdog. He opened up at plus 225, and I'm on Michael Venom Page here. I think he's gonna get this done by outworking him. I don't think he's knocking out Kevin Holland at all. If Kevin Holland shoots takedown, if he wants to grapple in this fight, he can definitely submit a guy like Michael Venom Page. But I just don't think he's gonna do that in front of a crowd in Miami. So I'm gonna go with Michael Venom Page by decision here. Alright guys, next up we have Petr Yan taking on Song Yadong. Now I'm a big Petr Yan fan, I'll tell you guys that right now, but I cannot pick him here, man. Even though this is a big step up in competition for Song Yadong, Petr Yan is a former champion. I mean, some of these fights could have gone either way. I mean, he got disqualified against Aljamain Sterling. He was absolutely dominating, beating the piss out of Aljamain Sterling. But then he landed that illegal knee to the Aljamain Sterling's freaking dome. So it sucks seeing Petr Yan on a 3-fight losing streak. But all those guys are, I think all those guys have a chance of beating Song Yadong. So is what it is. I mean, that second Aljamain Sterling fight could have gone either way. But he's getting controlled on the ground. Doesn't really have to worry about getting controlled on the ground in this fight, I think. Then Rob just absolutely dominated him. I mean, Sean O'Malley, I mean, I thought he won the fight against Sean O'Malley, to be honest. I honestly thought he won the fight against Sean O'Malley. But he did get cracked a couple of times in that fight too. But this is a low confidence pick here. I think Song Yadong can get it done. He's a pretty big underdog in this one. Now, Song Yadong is coming into this fight as a plus 120 underdog. Now, I was on him at plus 140, so I've been on Song Yadong for a minute now on Bet Online. So I like Song Yadong here. Plus 120, honestly, not that terrible. And yeah, I think he's more hungry right now too. Has a one punch knockout power too. I don't think he's knocking out Petr Yan though. I think he might be able to outwork him throughout 3 rounds. I could definitely see Petr Yan mixing in the takedowns. He's much better grappler in this fight. So I could definitely see Petr Yan. His striking is legit too. He's got decent Muay Thai skills. Tight, crisp boxing. Good power. Doesn't have one punch power like Song Yadong though. But big step up for Song Yadong, but I think he can get this done. Even that fight with Corey Sandhagen, I mean, that fight was 2-2 heading into the 5th round. And then they called it a doctor stoppage, and I was so happy because I was in Corey Sandhagen there. So I was so happy with that call. But I honestly thought Song Yadong might be able to get that done if he didn't have a cut on his his eye wasn't cut in that one. He was looking decent out there in the 4th and 5th round. So I'm gonna go with Song Yadong by decision here. That's the pick. Plus 120, honestly, not that terrible for an underdog like Song Yadong. But Petr Yan looks in phenomenal shape right now. He's really definitely been training hard. So let's see what happens though. I could definitely be dead wrong about that one. That's a low confidence pick for me there. Alright guys, next up we have Gilbert Burns taking on Jack Della Maddalena. And this would be a really good matchup here. But I'm picking another underdog here. I'm picking Jack Della Maddalena. Now, big step up for Jack Della Maddalena. Like this is not a guy like Kevin Holland or Basil Hafez that he's fighting. Both of those wins were split decisions. This is not a Randy Brown. This is not a Danny Roberts. This is not Ramazan Emeev. But I think his grappling is legit. Not grappling. I mean, Gilbert Burns' grappling is legit. He can definitely take him down and submit him. But I think Jack JDM's takedown defense is pretty solid when he's not pulling a guillotine choke out there. So he should be able to keep it on the feet. I've seen Gilbert Burns get dropped with the jab so many times. I'm a big Gilbert Burns fan, but I've seen him get dropped with the jab way too many times. I think JDM's boxing is gonna be on point there. He should be able to get this done by decision. Actually by knockout. I think he can knock out Gilbert Burns. I mean, even who was that? I think it was Kamaru Usman. I mean, Kamaru Usman, even though Gilbert Burns almost knocked him out in the 1st round with I think it was an uppercut or something, but then Kamaru Usman knocked him down with the power jab and then knocked him out in the 3rd round. Even Hamza Chimaev, I mean, knocked him down with the jab a couple of times. Even that was an absolute war though. I mean, he showed crazy toughness in that fight. And he beat up Stephen Wonderboy Thompson with the grappling, and then beat up Jorge Masvidal with the grappling. Couldn't really finish Masvidal though out there. He did finish Neil Magny in the 1st round with the submission. Bilal Muhammad just outworked him. I was on Gilbert Burns in that fight, and he broke his arm, so to be fair, so it is what it is. But I like JDM here a ton, man. I have medium confidence that JDM is going to knock him out in the 2nd round. Late 2nd round, I think. Now JDM is coming into this fight minus 112 right now, so we got him at plus 115. I've been on JDM at plus 115, so I didn't know the lines were flipping to JDM. No, this is crazy now. If you can still get plus money on JDM, I would play it. But if you're paying like negative, I mean, I wouldn't really play JDM at minus 112, to be honest with you guys. I did not expect him to flip as the favorite here, because he hasn't really fought anyone other than Kevin Holland and Basil Hafez and these Randy Brown. I mean, Gilbert Burns is not a Randy Brown. He's way better, levels ahead of these guys. So let's see what happens here. But Gilbert Burns is 37 years old, almost 38 years old now. So he's had a lot of wear and tear on his body. 10-year age gap. Also, I wasn't expecting Gilbert Burns to be this old. He honestly doesn't look that old out there. But he's taking a ton of damage. He's coming off an arm injury now too. I'm gonna say JDM by knockout here. Second on knockout for JDM is the pick, and I like that. I would just not play him at this point. I mean, minus like 112 right now. If you like him, if you're confident at minus 112, personally, if I saw him at minus 112 like a couple of months back, I wouldn't play him at minus 112. But I think he's gonna get stunned. But I would look at that knockout power from JDM. I think you can still get like plus 150, plus 200 in JDM by knockout. Should be like plus 175 on JDM by knockout. I'm gonna say I like the under 2.5 rounds. Either way, even if Gilbert Burns gets a takedown, gets a submission, yeah, I think under 2.5 rounds would be decent here. Under 2.5 rounds. I think JDM will be able to get the knockout though. I like JDM by second on knockout. Alright guys, we got Dustin the Diamond Poirier versus Benoit Saint-Denis. I'm a big Dustin Poirier fan, bro. I've always been a Dustin Poirier fan. But yeah, I think his time is up though. He's 35 years old now. Benoit Saint-Denis seems like the next guy up at 155. And I cast a pretty decent bet on Benoit Saint-Denis. His Thiago Moises fight, he was only minus 150 there. I had like 5 units on him there. I had him in parlays. And he cast everything on that Paris card. That was a Paris card. I think I win like 11-1 on that Paris card. Crazy. All my parlays were cashing on that Paris card. And against Mateusz, he came through with the under 1.5 rounds. Cast under 1.5 rounds at minus 130. I think it was minus 130 or minus 150 under 1.5 rounds there. Yeah, he just knocked him out with the head kick. Nasty head kick knockout. And he was out there pulling guillotines and stuff though, like in the first like minute. But then he became serious and then he knocked him out with the like. Mateusz honestly thought he was out of range, and he probably thought that Benoit Saint-Denis couldn't crack him at range. Then Saint-Denis hit him with that freaking nasty like head kick, and that kind of grazed his nose a little bit. Then that was enough to knock out Mateusz. But this is a big step up for Benoit Saint-Denis though. Like this is not a Mateusz guy. This is not a Thiago Moises guy. This is not Ismael Bonfim. This is Dustin the Diamond Poirier. I mean, Dustin the Diamond Poirier has been at this level forever. But we've seen Dustin Poirier get out grappled before. He got out grappled by Charles Oliveira. Charles Oliveira climbed on his back like a monkey, freaking just submitted him with a rear naked choke. That was crazy. I mean, even though like Dustin Poirier was having a lot of success out there, he knocked down Charles Oliveira a couple of times. Couldn't really finish him though. And then Justin Gates, he absolutely just laid him out clean with the head kick. So he's taken 6 months off though. I like seeing fighters take 6 months off when you get brutally knocked out. I'm gonna trust in the God of War here. I think Benoit Saint-Denis' time right now. And I think Benoit Saint-Denis will be able to get this done. As a fan of Poirier, I want him to win this matchup, but I don't think he's winning this matchup. I think the grappling from Benoit Saint-Denis, his wrestling is going to be there. The takedowns are going to be there. The cardio is going to be there from Benoit Saint-Denis. And Poirier is has a lot of power on the feet too. Like he's an absolute junkyard dog. So this turns into a dog fight. It could be 50-50. I mean, this fight could go either way if it turns into a dog fight. I'm going to trust the guy with less wear and tear on his body right now. But Dustin Poirier has a ton of experience. He's been in there against everyone. I mean, he's fought everyone out there in the UFC. All the big names out there. Poirier has fought everyone. He's made all the money that he wanted to make. So I don't know if he's really all that hungry anymore. And I think Saint-Denis still hasn't. He's still hungry. He wants to fight Islam Makhachev. And I think he's gonna get this done by submission. I'm gonna say second on submission for Benoit Saint-Denis. I can't blame you guys if you guys are taking Dustin Poirier here because he should be a decent play here. I mean, we haven't really seen Benoit Saint-Denis against a top 5 guy before. Now Benoit Saint-Denis minus 135. I really like that ton, man. He opened up at plus 145, and I like that Benoit Saint-Denis minus 135. I have a play on Benoit Saint-Denis. I like him ton here. Not really putting him in parlays yet because I don't know. Maybe you can put him in parlays, but I'm personally just gonna attack a straight money line play. And I think the straight money line play is what I would do here. Yeah, the minus 135 is honestly not that terrible. And I'm also gonna be attacking props. Benoit Saint-Denis by second, third round submission, because I don't think he's knocking out Dustin Poirier, even though we have seen Dustin Poirier get knocked out by the head kick. And Saint-Denis just coming off a head kick knockout. So you never know. It could definitely happen. But I think it'll be like a submission from Benoit Saint-Denis. Like second on submission or third on submission. Maybe I'll play the second and third round. Maybe fourth. I doubt this goes into the fourth round. This is a 5-round fight, by the way. So, but I'm gonna say Benoit Saint-Denis by like second, third round submission. That's what I'm picking. And minus 135, honestly not that terrible for Benoit Saint-Denis, because you know he's got a chin on him. He can definitely take some big shots, and his cardio should be legit. He's a finisher though. He's been finishing guys out there, so he used to be good here. Submission from Benoit Saint-Denis. Alright guys, main event time now. We got Sean O'Malley taking on Marlon Vera. The rematch here we've been waiting for. I know people didn't really want to see this matchup, but I actually do want to see this matchup. I want to see how this one plays out. This is Chito Vera's opportunity to get that bantamweight strap. So let's see what happens here, man. Sean O'Malley, really good striker, really long and rangy striker. He's gonna have a 2-inch reach advantage here. Trains out of MMA Lab. His takedown defenses has been improving a ton. His only loss in his career was to Chito Vera, Marlon Vera. Kicked his calf, like crazy calf kick, and I think injured his peroneal nerve or something like that. And O'Malley couldn't really plan on his legs and throw strike at range. But O'Malley's gonna have the much better striker on his feet. He's gonna have the speed advantage here. I think O'Malley's a solid parlay piece. I really do. I don't think Chito Vera is gonna beat him again. But I don't know if O'Malley's gonna finish him, bro. Like Marlon Vera doesn't really get finished out there. He's never been finished for a good reason. This dude has a crazy chin on him. He just eats punches like he's eating freaking cake out there. Like this dude, you never cut him. Like I've never seen Chito Vera get cut out there. Like I've never seen him get injured out there. Like it's crazy. This dude toughness is otherworldly. And O'Malley's been talking about that too. Like he thinks it's gonna be very tough to finish a guy like Chito Vera. And O'Malley's, I think he's got brittle bones, by the way. Like we've seen him get injured a bunch of times in the past too. But I think he should be able to keep the range, and I don't think Vera's gonna be mixing in the takedowns. So I like O'Malley to keep it on the feet, mixing in the keep him guessing with the feints. O'Malley's got some of the best feints out there, and stay moving the whole time, like circling the cage the whole time, keep moving, and just popping Vera with the jab back and forth. Maybe mixing a takedown. Maybe we see Sean O'Malley go out there mixing some takedowns, but it wouldn't be smart for him to mix in the takedown because Marlon Vera jiu-jitsu is legit. This dude has a crazy submission game, so we don't need O'Malley mixing in the takedown. It probably won't. I don't think he's planning to mix in the takedowns, but we never know. But I think O'Malley will be more than prepared for this fight. He's at a full camp for this fight, so. And Marlon Vera, like he's coming off a good performance over Pedro Munhoz. I had a money line play on Chito Vera on that one. And it was only minus 185, and even that fight was super close. So like that fight, even though Marlon Vera was the one landing damage, I mean, so that's what won him the fight. But he's not really all that dangerous. He knocked out Dominic Cruz with like a crazy head kick. He was down in that fight. He was losing that fight. Caught him with the head kick in the 4th or 5th round. But I think O'Malley will be able to get it done by decision. I don't think he's finishing Chito Vera. I know some people think that he's going to finish him. 37% people are picking him by some knockout. I don't think he's finishing Chito Vera, man. I like the over. Like, over is a ton here. I like they're probably going to open the overs at like 4.5 or 3.5. I like the overs a ton here, man. I think over is going to hit. O'Malley by decision is what I like here. And I think he's going to get this done. Let's go over the parlays, guys. So, the parlays that I like on this card are like I was talking about. I told you guys earlier. The parlays that I like on this card are Asu Almabaev, and Mateusz Gamrot. Where's Mateusz Gamrot? Mateusz Gamrot. Minus 38. I mean, and then Robelis Despaigne, plus 111. Honestly, not that terrible for a parlay like that, but. If you guys want more plus money, say Robelis Despaigne, I think he's definitely going to win. But he's making his UFC debut here, so you never know how that can go. But I think he's going to win. Pretty confident in him. And I also like O'Malley to win here. Plus 208 for this parlay. I actually like this parlay a ton. I already have O'Malley in a parlay. Personally, I have him in a parlay with it was Cortez Acosta, and the other leg was Gary Neil no Gary Gary to win against Jeff Neal. So I already have that 3-leg parlay. But if you guys, this is the parlay that I like. Asu Almabaev, Mateusz Gamrot, Robelis Despaigne, and Sean O'Malley to win. You can probably leave Sean O'Malley out of there. Plus 111, honestly not that terrible for a parlay. You can honestly throw the over 2.5 rounds in this Kyler Phillips and Pedro Munhoz fight. It's probably gonna give you better plus money for like parlay for that plus money. I like that parlay a ton, man. Make sure you guys don't forget to hit the like down below. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel and leave a comment down below for the YouTube algorithm. I appreciate you guys all a ton. I appreciate the support as always, and I appreciate you guys watching these videos. And I'll see you guys in the next one, man. I hope you guys enjoy the breakdown. These are early picks. I'll probably do a updated picks video for this card. And I'll see you guys in the next one, man. Take it easy. And I hope you guys have a beautiful couple of weeks. And I'll see you guys in one of my live streams later.